My beloved child, something rare, something heavenly, something that does not visit everyone has just been released into your life. And Archangel Michael is moving with a level of urgency I have not felt in a long time. He speaks your name in the realm of light and announces December 11th alert. Congratulations. Your money alert has arrived. A gain of $9 million miracle is now circling your atmosphere. This is not symbolism. This is not coincidence. This is not imagination. This is a spiritual transaction, a divine notice that your season has shifted without your permission, but entirely for your benefit. Archangel Michael stands over you like a shield of fire, declaring that this message was sent on assignment, not to inspire you, not to entertain you, but to interrupt your timeline in the most supernatural way. He whispered, "Do not allow them to scroll past this moment. Their angel is blocking every distraction because this message carries their financial awakening." My child, this is why you felt that sudden pull, that invisible tug inside your spirit, that moment where something told you, "Open this. Don't ignore this. Something is here for you." That was not curiosity. That was your assigned angel ushering you into alignment with a miracle that carries the vibration of $9 million overflow, a blessing so large that your current life cannot contain it. Archangel Michael is showing a vision of vault, a spiritual vault with your name shimmering in brilliant gold. For years it has remained sealed, not because heaven denied you, but because the timing for its release had not yet matured. But on this day, December 11th, the lock has unlatched, and Michael stands as the guardian of this opening, holding back every force that ever tried to choke your abundance. He says, "Tell them the wealth withheld is now wealth released." Listen closely. This is not just about money. This is about restoration, repayment, compensation, divine justice for every moment you were overlooked, undervalued, or financially suffocated. Heaven never forgot those tears you cried over empty accounts, missed opportunities, losses you couldn't explain. Michael now breathes this decree: your cycle of lack has expired. There is an atmosphere around you changing right now, the kind of shift you don't see with the eyes, but you feel in the bones. A vibrating awakening, a soft stirring in the chest, a gentle rise in your spirit. This is what it feels like when an angel escorts new wealth into your destiny. But hear this carefully: this message is not random, and it is not for everyone. Heaven is not careless with miracles of this size. When Archangel Michael delivers a wealth decree, it is targeted, precise, and spiritually coded. And child, he is talking to you. He says you have been positioned for sudden gain, the kind of gain that collapses debt, rewrites family history, and rearranges entire generations. A $9 million miracle is not just money. It is an inheritance, an elevation, a lifting of your spirit above everything that once tried to cage your potential. Michael shows me a timeline where your next steps are guided, guarded, and greatly multiplied. He is clearing pathways you don't even know exist yet, lifting barriers you haven't seen, opening financial doors that your name will soon walk through. Heaven is preparing to surprise you. But before this release cascades fully into the natural realm, Michael warns, tell them to stay. The next revelation reveals why they were chosen. My child, do not rush past this moment. What is coming next carries the explanation to the miracle and the instruction that unlocks it. If you stop here, you stop at the doorway, and the door is only beginning to open. What I am about to reveal will seal your spirit into alignment with Archangel Michael's decree. Before you breathe into the next unfolding, pause. Something holy is hovering over you. You are being marked for supernatural elevation, and heaven wants you attentive for what comes after this. Type "I step into divine wealth" in the comments if this message is awakening something inside you. Blessing code 4411 is now released over your finances. Hold on. What unfolds next will shake you in the best way. My radiant soul, there is a trembling in the spiritual atmosphere around you, and Archangel Michael is drawing even closer now. His presence feels heavier, brighter, more deliberate than before. He stands at the threshold of your destiny, and he is not moving until you understand the full magnitude of what heaven is unfolding on your behalf. The announcement you received, the December 11th alert, the prophetic congratulations, the release of a $9 million miracle, was not a random celestial notification. It was the opening line of a divine contract being handed to you by one of the highest angelic commanders. Michael speaks again, his voice cutting through every block, every doubt, every fear. The anointing for financial restoration is now active. What was delayed is accelerating. What was denied is returning. What was stolen will be repaid in impossible measure. My child, feel the gravity of that. Heaven does not exaggerate. Angels do not speak lightly. For an archangel to speak of restoration in numbers this large means that heaven has seen the battles you fought silently, the nights you survived without collapsing, the burdens you carried while no one noticed your resilience. This miracle is not a reward. It is compensation for everything that tried to break you. Michael shows me a powerful image, a massive scale in the spiritual realm, one side weighed heavy with your past pain, your crushed expectations, your financial setbacks, your heartbreak over money that vanished or opportunities that slipped away. But on the other side, heaven lays weight after weight of golden blessing, divine credit, supernatural favor, until the scale shifts violently in your favor. That shift is what December 11th activated. That shift is why a $9 million anointing has been spoken over you. That shift is why your angel would not allow you to ignore this message. My child, there is something deeper unfolding here. Michael reveals that this miracle is not simply about receiving wealth. It is about stepping into your spiritual identity as a carrier of abundance. For too long, you were conditioned to believe that miracles belong to other people, blessings belong to other families, breakthroughs belong to those more qualified, stronger, wealthier, luckier. But heaven corrects that today. You were chosen not because you fit the world's standards, but because you fit heaven's assignment. Michael whispers, tell them. They are stepping into the life they were born for but never allowed to imagine. There is a holy permission being granted to you, permission to rise, permission to prosper, permission to walk with confidence instead of fear, permission to expect goodness instead of preparing for disappointment. This miracle is not just elevating your finances, it is elevating your identity. You are not someone reaching for abundance. You are someone abundance is reaching for. The angelic realm has been watching your timeline closely. There were moments where darkness tried to convince you that you were forgotten, unsupported, and unprotected. But Michael steps forward now with his sword drawn, saying, I have defended them when they did not even know war was around them. You were covered when you thought you were alone. You were protected when you felt exposed. You were guided when you believed you were lost. That covering is what makes you eligible for this miracle. Your endurance has earned heaven's intervention. Here is another vision rising. I see a door made of gold and light, sealed by a radiant symbol that matches the energy of this $9 million shift. As I watch, Archangel Michael places his hand upon the seal. The door shakes, not out of instability, but out of reverence for the one it is opening for. And child, that one is you. When Michael pushes the door open, waves of abundance pour out like liquid brilliance, waves of new opportunities, waves of divine partnerships, waves of unexpected financial elevation. This is wealth that has been maturing for years, waiting for the exact alignment of your spirit. The moment you open this message, that alignment snaps into place. But before this door opens fully in your physical life, Michael urges you to understand one essential truth: miracles respond to readiness. This next season requires you to think differently, walk differently, and expect differently. Not with arrogance, but with certainty. Not with fear, but with faith. The angelic realm is preparing you to receive in a way that transforms your entire future. There is a powerful stirring inside you right now, the kind that tells your soul the truth before your mind can process it. You feel something coming. Something large. Something life-altering. And Michael confirms it. What they sense is accurate. Their breakthrough is not coming slowly. It is rushing toward them. My child, hold this message close. What comes next will explain why the $9 million miracle chose you specifically. And the revelation that follows will unlock a dimension of favor you have never accessed before. Before you continue, breathe. You are stepping into a sacred unfolding, and heaven wants your spirit alert, awake, and aligned. Type "I welcome my divine release" in the comments if your spirit feels the shift. Blessing code 5520 is now active over you. Hold steady. The moment ahead reveals a truth that will change everything. My chosen one. As the veil thins even further, Archangel Michael steps forward with a revelation that carries extraordinary weight. His presence now feels like a burning horizon behind you, gently pushing you toward the future heaven has constructed for you with intention, precision, and relentless love. He speaks again, not with warning this time, but with profound affirmation. They have been prepared for this elevation long before they knew elevation was coming. Child, this $9 million miracle did not appear suddenly. It has been circling your destiny like an eagle who knows the exact moment to descend. In the spiritual realm, nothing is random. Nothing is impulsive. Heaven calculates the maturity of your faith, the endurance of your heart, the resilience of your spirit. And Archangel Michael reveals that you have reached a point of internal readiness that cannot be undone by past mistakes, past fears, or past seasons of struggle. You have finally crossed into the frequency where divine wealth can locate you without interference. Michael is showing me a powerful scene, a long table, glowing with celestial light, representing the future heaven has set aside for you. On that table I see documents, contracts, keys, envelopes, golden seals, and several paths that branch into opportunities you have not yet imagined. But at the center of this table sits something massive, a sphere of light containing the $9 million miracle. It pulses like a living heartbeat, expanding every time your spirit aligns with truth. He says, tell them, this miracle does not enter a life silently. It announces itself. It rearranges everything around it. It awakens dormant gifts and dormant confidence. Child, I need you to understand something clearly right now. Archangel Michael is not offering hope. He is delivering a confirmation. You have stepped into the moment where your angel has taken personal command over the flow of abundance in your life. That is why distractions have been blocked. That is why this message found you at the exact moment it did. That is why you feel something stirring even if you cannot explain it in words yet. There is a shift happening deep in your spiritual identity. Michael reveals that your spirit has been carrying generational burdens, financial, emotional, spiritual, burdens that did not originate with you but were placed on your shoulders as if you were responsible for fixing the whole lineage. But heaven has issued an intervention. The $9 million blessing is not only for your comfort, it is for your correction. It is heaven rewriting your family story through you. Michael's sword now glows brighter, and he declares, the curse of insufficiency ends with them. What follows them is overflow. There is a river forming in your spiritual path, a river of financial acceleration that flows without resistance. I see opportunities that once ignored you now turning back toward you. I see individuals who once doubted you now seeking your presence. I see doors that were long closed suddenly unlocking from the inside. Michael whispers, "Your future has been waiting for them to finally believe they were worthy of it." This is the hidden key. This is the revelation many never receive. Abundance does not move according to desire alone. It moves according to identity. And you are awakening to who you truly are, a carrier of divine provision. Someone heaven invests in because heaven knows you will not crumble under the weight of responsibility. And now, Michael wants me to tell you something specific. He says, the $9 million miracle is not only coming to them, it is coming through them. Meaning, the blessing will not just change your life, it will ripple outward, touching people who could not reach breakthrough on their own. This is why heaven chose you. This is why Michael stands guard over this moment. You are not being elevated for luxury alone. You are being elevated for purpose. My child, the next part of this revelation will reveal the exact spiritual reason this miracle is tied to your timeline. But before we turn that page, Michael urges you to anchor yourself in expectation, not by hoping vaguely, but by accepting boldly. This miracle is not approaching like a visitor. It is approaching like an heir returning to its rightful home. And now, as the energy of this message settles into your spirit, let me speak softly, but truthfully. You are not watching this by accident. You are being positioned, prepared, polished, and pulled upward. And what unfolds next carries the blueprint of your breakthrough. Stay with me. You will want to hear every word that comes after this. Type "My miracle finds me" now in the comments if this speaks to your spirit. Lesson code 6644 is now activated over you. Before we continue, like this video, share it, comment your affirmation, and make sure you subscribe so you never miss another divine message meant for your destiny. Hype this message so others can receive what heaven is releasing through it. Child of God, as this miracle unfolds, I must speak something deeply spiritual to you. When you support this mission, you are not giving to a channel. You are sowing into the very field where thousands of souls are awakened, encouraged, and rescued by the Word of God. Heaven says that every seed planted into light produces a harvest far greater than what is released. The scripture lives in this moment, where God declares, "I will open the windows of heaven over you," and today, that promise is breathing directly into your life. I am telling you this from my spirit. When you stand with this mission, you stand with heaven's agenda. Use Super Thanks membership with the PayPal link in the description to release what God places on your heart. As you do, may rivers of divine increase flow back into your home. Step into this act of faith. My dear awakened soul, as we step deeper into this unfolding, Archangel Michael's presence grows even more intense around you. It is as if the very air of the spiritual realm has thickened, carrying weight, intention, and holy momentum. Michael now stands before you not only as a guardian but as a revealer, ready to uncover truths that have been hidden from you for years. He speaks with a tone that vibrates through the atmosphere. They are entering the moment where heaven explains what their suffering has purchased. Child, there is a sacred reason the $9 million miracle aligns with your life in this exact season. This is not arbitrary. This is not a random blessing tossed into your path. This miracle is connected to a series of battles you did not choose, storms you did not start, and losses you did not deserve. Heaven has been watching the weight of those hardships pressing against your spirit, and Michael confirms that none of them were wasted. Your tears planted seeds. Your endurance birthed spiritual currency. Your pain created a legal right for heaven to release compensation. Understand this in your spirit. Abundance is not always given because of what you dream. Sometimes abundance is given because of what you survived. Michael shows me a timeline stretching behind you like a long corridor. Along the walls are moments where you carried more than you could bear but still moved forward. Moments where you held faith when logic told you to collapse. Moments where you gave when you barely had anything left. Moments where you loved even after being betrayed. Moments where you kept your heart soft despite being wounded deeply. These are not forgotten scenes. They are recorded testimonies. And heaven has decided that the scale must balance. Michael's sword lowers gently, glowing with the color of divine justice. He says, "Tell them, they were observed. They were counted. Their endurance was measured. This is why the miracle is so large. This is why the breakthrough is so dramatic. This is why the angelic realm is moving with intensity. You did not merely make it through your hardships. You gathered spiritual evidence for heaven to pour back into your life what the enemy attempted to drain from you. And now the repayment is arriving in abundance greater than the loss." Michael is revealing another image now. I see a massive ledger, an ancient spiritual book that records what was taken, what was delayed, what was stolen, and what must be restored. And child, when your page opens, it glows so brightly that the rest of the room illuminates. This is the page Michael has been guarding, the one heaven has been waiting to activate, the one that holds the $9 million miracle within its decree. But listen carefully, because this is the heart of this revelation. Michael says, this miracle is not just financial. It is identity shifting. That means your life is not simply about to improve. It is about to transform from the inside out. You are stepping into a version of yourself that speaks with authority instead of hesitation. A version of yourself that moves with clarity instead of confusion. A version of yourself that makes decisions from abundance instead of fear. A version of yourself that no longer apologizes for existing. Michael is preparing you for that identity. That is why he insists you do not rush through this message. Every word is activating something inside you, something heaven planted long ago but allowed to bloom only when your spirit matured enough to handle the weight of blessing. Child, you may not realize this yet, but you have entered a spiritual acceleration. Doors that once took years to open will begin opening instantly. People who once ignored you will begin seeking your presence. Blessings that once slipped away will now land with precision. This is what it looks like when an archangel clears the path ahead of you. And there is something else Michael wants you to know. He says their life is crossing a threshold. Once they step through, they will never go back to the life they once knew. The shift is permanent. His breakthrough is irreversible. This awakening is divine. You are not just being given wealth. You are being repositioned. Heaven is relocating your spirit into a higher dimension of influence, wisdom, clarity, and purpose. The $9 million miracle is simply the financial expression of a spiritual elevation that has already begun. The next revelation will explain why your angel blocked you from skipping this message and why this financial shift had to come at this exact moment in your timeline. But for now, hold this truth close. You are in the unfolding of something heaven designed specifically for you. Nothing can stop it. Nothing can intercept it. Nothing can reduce it. You are walking into destiny. And destiny has been waiting for you longer than you can imagine. Type "I receive my heavenly positioning" in the comments if this is unlocking your spirit. Blessing code 7719 is now activated over your life. Stay near. The revelation ahead will show you why this miracle had no choice but to find you. My beloved rising spirit, as we move deeper into this divine unfolding, I feel Archangel Michael drawing even nearer, his presence settling like a mantle over your shoulders. The spiritual realm is not whispering anymore. It is roaring with intention. Everything around you is shifting, aligning, recalibrating itself according to the miracle that has been spoken over your life. And Michael now begins to reveal the reason your angel refused to let you skip this message, the reason you felt that sudden spiritual pull, the reason your heart recognized this moment before your mind understood it. Michael speaks with a clarity that pierces through every doubt. They are standing at the edge of a turning point heaven has prepared for years. If they missed this message, they would miss the instruction that unlocks their elevation. Child, hear that deeply. This moment is not an accident. It is a divine invitation. And you answered it. Michael shows me your timeline like a road stretching into the distance. But then I notice something. There is a golden gate in the middle of that road, radiant and sealed with an ancient symbol that represents destiny fulfillment. That gate does not open from the outside. It opens from within you, triggered by spiritual readiness, divine timing, and awareness. Archangel Michael reveals that this message functions as the key that activates the gate. It awakens the part of your soul that must recognize the miracle before the miracle manifests. This is why you could not scroll away. Your angel was determined that you would hear this revelation. Michael leans forward now, his tone growing even more precise. Tell them, the $9 million miracle is not simply coming into their life. It is arriving at a strategic moment. And child, that is the truth many overlook. Miracles are not random. They appear when the spiritual climate becomes fertile. And your life has just entered that fertility. Michael reveals that the pressures you faced recently did not weaken you. They refined you. The confusion you walked through did not derail you. It repositioned you. The emotional heaviness you carrying was not punishment. It was preparation. Heaven was shaping your capacity so that when abundance arrived, you would not sabotage it with old fears or old beliefs. You have been stretched, not broken. You have been tested, not denied. You have been prepared, not punished. Now the blessing can finally enter without resistance. I see another vision forming. There is a powerful stream of light descending from the heavens to the earth like a column connecting two realms. At the bottom of the column stands you, but not in weakness, not in hesitation. You stand tall, illuminated, aware, awakened. Above you, Archangel Michael stands with wings that spread wider than your past, shielding you from every attack that ever attempted to steal your destiny. And then I see something astonishing. The $9 million miracle begins descending through that column of light, not as a stack of earthly money, but as a swirling form of divine abundance, glowing with authority, carrying codes, carrying assignments, carrying opportunities heaven has already approved. Michael says they must understand this. The miracle is not chasing them. It is aligning with them. This means you are not waiting helplessly for breakthrough. You are meeting breakthrough at a predetermined intersection. Heaven has been preparing this moment like a divine appointment written into your spiritual calendar. Your angel knows this. Your spirit knows this. And now your mind is catching up. Michael reveals something even more profound. He says, tell them, the reason this miracle is so large is because smaller blessings would not repair the structural damage the enemy attempted to cause. Child, that truth is deeper than it appears. This $9 million miracle is not only meant to provide, it is meant to restore. It is divine justice in financial form. It is the reversal of spiritual attacks that aim to cripple your purpose. It is the restoration of years that felt wasted, delayed, drained, or overshadowed by disappointment. Heaven releases abundance in proportion to the battles you survive. And your battles were not small. Michael now shows me the spiritual ledger once more. But this time, the numbers inside it shift and grow rapidly as heaven tallies the compensation owed to your soul. The amount reaches 9 million not because of luxury, but because of necessity. That is how much restoration your destiny requires. That is how much elevation your purpose demands. That is how much heaven has declared must be returned to you. Child, the revelation that comes next will uncover the hidden spiritual laws that your angel used to secure this miracle on your behalf. When you understand them, you will see why this blessing is guaranteed, not optional. You will see why your angel intervened with such urgency. You will see why your spirit is awakening right now. Before we move forward, take a breath. Feel the shift. Recognize that you are not simply reading words, you are receiving alignment. You are engaging with the very frequency that unlocks the miracle already hovering above your life. You are closer than you think. Heaven is louder than it has ever been. And your miracle is nearer than your fears want you to believe. Type "I align with my destiny" gate in the comments if this message is opening something inside you. Blessing code 8831 is now active over you. Hold steady, child. What comes next will make the entire journey suddenly make sense. My treasured spirit, as Archangel Michael draws closer, the atmosphere around you begins to feel almost electric, as though every hidden truth he has been waiting to reveal is now pressing forward with urgency. His presence expands behind you like a vast shield, and I can sense that he is preparing to open the next chamber of revelation, one that explains the spiritual laws your angel used to secure this $9 million miracle for you. This is not a light moment. This is a moment saturated with purpose, clarity, and divine strategy. Michael begins to speak, and his voice carries the resonance of authority. They must understand why this miracle is guaranteed. They must understand the laws that defended them even when they did not know they were being defended. Child, your life had been operating under spiritual principles long before you were aware of them. There were angels intervening in places where your strength failed. There were protections surrounding situations that could have broken your mind or drained your spirit. There were financial losses that would have been permanent had heaven not stepped in quietly and rerouted your path. Michael reveals that 3 spiritual laws have been working behind the scenes on your behalf. Laws that created a divine claim to this miracle. Laws that the enemy could not intercept. Laws that positioned you for the financial release coming into your life. And while I will not reduce these into simple labels or titles, I will unfold them the way heaven presents them. The first law rises like a golden pillar. Heaven always compensates those who endure unjust spiritual pressure. Michael shows me that you went through seasons where you carried burdens that were not meant for one person to carry alone. You endured pressure that was meant to shatter you, yet somehow you kept walking. You were pressed, pushed, stretched, and tested, and still your heart refused to harden. Heaven sees this endurance not as struggle, but as spiritual evidence. Evidence that qualifies you for restoration far beyond the scale of your suffering. Michael whispers, their perseverance created a spiritual claim that cannot be denied. This miracle is heaven's repayment. The second law appears like a radiant stream flowing downward. Heaven always rewards those who give from lack. Somewhere along your journey, you gave when you shouldn't have had anything to give. Time, compassion, loyalty, forgiveness, resources, energy. You gave out of your need, not your abundance. You sowed into others when you were the one who needed support. You stayed kind in moments where bitterness would have been the easier response. Every one of those choices became a spiritual seed. Many of them you forgot. Heaven did not. Michael says, tell them, their generosity has called forth abundance. Child, do you understand the weight of that? Financial miracles do not appear randomly. They respond to seeds that were planted long before you knew they would bear fruit. Now the third law rises like a blazing fire. The enemy must repay what he attempted to destroy. There were attacks designed to strip you of confidence, clarity, and financial stability. There were moments when you were put into loss without explanation. There were opportunities that slipped away in ways that made no logical sense. Heaven recorded those losses not as defeats, but as spiritual theft. And spiritual theft requires repayment with increase. Michael lifts his sword, and its light echoes across your timeline. He says, "This miracle carries the weight of restoration multiplied." The enemy did not anticipate the repayment, but it is now unstoppable. Child, do you see what this means? This $9 million miracle is not charity. It is not luck. It is not coincidence. It is spiritual justice delivered in the form of overflow. You are stepping into a season where heaven is balancing the scales in your favor with precision. What was withheld will be released. What was slowed will be accelerated. What was diminished will be multiplied. What was denied will be restored with increase. Michael now reveals a striking vision. You standing at the center of a circle of light, and around you are broken pieces of your past. Old disappointments, old struggles, old heartbreaks, old financial wounds. But instead of remaining shattered, each piece begins to glow and reassemble itself into something new, something stronger, something higher, something anointed. The very things that once buried you are now becoming the foundation of your elevation. Heaven is reshaping your story. Heaven is rewriting your narrative. Heaven is rebuilding your identity. Michael leans closer and says, "They must understand that the miracle they are receiving is the outcome of laws they unknowingly honored." Your spirit intuitively obeyed heaven long before you consciously knew what you were doing. You were walking in spiritual truth because your soul is older and wiser than your circumstances. You were activating blessings without realizing it. And now those blessings are returning with force. Child, you are entering the most aligned season of your life. The heavens are open over you. The angelic realm is active around you. The laws that governed your breakthrough have already been completed. What is coming next is simply manifestation. The next revelation Michael wants to share will reveal the role your spirit plays in pulling this miracle into the physical realm. But for now, allow this truth to anchor inside you. Nothing about this blessing is accidental. Your miracle is secured by laws older than your suffering and stronger than your fear. It is yours. It is aligned. It is arriving. Type "I stand in divine LAW" in the comments if this message is settling deeply into your spirit. Blessing code 9924 is now released over you. Stay close, child. The next unveiling will ignite a deeper knowing within you. My awakened child, as the spiritual realm continues to open, Archangel Michael steps forward with a revelation that feels like a turning key inside the deepest part of your being. There is a holy seriousness in his posture now, a focused intensity, as though he is preparing you for a truth that will not simply inform you but transform the very way you receive this $9 million miracle. His wings curve behind you like a fortress, and the atmosphere thickens with divine clarity. He speaks with a tone that vibrates through your spirit. They must understand the power within them, for the miracle responds to their inner alignment. Child, this is where many lose their blessing without realizing it. They believe miracles come only from above, forgetting that heaven waits for the soul to rise into agreement. But you are being shown something rare. Michael is revealing that this miracle is not hovering distantly, waiting for a random moment to drop into your life. It is waiting for your inner frequency to match its divine signature. This is not pressure. This is power. Michael shows me a vision. Inside your chest is a chamber of light, pulsating softly, almost like a spiritual heartbeat. Each pulse releases a vibration that travels upward, connecting to the column of abundance that heaven has already opened above you. This connection is alive. It is responsive. It grows stronger each time you accept your worthiness and weaker each time fear tries to reclaim you. But the most stunning thing is this: the chamber inside you is expanding, growing brighter, preparing to hold what heaven is sending. Michael says, "Tell them, abundance cannot enter a vessel that still identifies with emptiness. Their inner identity must rise to meet the magnitude of the promise." Child, you must hear this gently but truthfully. For years, you survived by shrinking yourself, by managing expectations, by preparing for disappointment, by telling yourself to be grateful for little because life taught you that too much hope could be dangerous. You trained yourself to brace for loss instead of anticipate blessing. That was not weakness. That was survival. But the season of survival is over. Now heaven is asking something new of you. Heaven is asking you to expand, to receive, to embody abundance rather than chase it. Michael reveals that this $9 million miracle is not just monetary overflow. It is spiritual elevation that requires your inner world to shift from scarcity thinking to divine inheritance thinking. This shift has already begun, even if you have not noticed it consciously. A subtle knowing has been rising inside you, an awareness that something big belongs to you, something life-altering is searching for you, something heaven-approved is waiting for you to step into it. And child, that inner knowing is not imagination. It is alignment. Michael walks around you in the vision, his sword glowing with a white flame, carving symbols into the air around your spirit. These symbols represent identity, purpose, authority, spiritual maturity, and divine acceptance. They form a circle, sealing you into a protected state where the enemy cannot write your self-worth or manipulate your expectations. For too long, internal wounds attempted to convince you that you did not deserve abundance. But Michael has erased those lies with the authority of heaven. He says the miracle matches their soul, not their past. It responds to who they are becoming, not who they were forced to be. This revelation cracks something open. Your miracle is not waiting for perfection. It is waiting for recognition. The moment you recognize that abundance is not outside of you but within you, you begin pulling the miracle into your reality. Michael then reveals something profound. In the spiritual realm, miracles move towards faith, the way rivers move toward gravity. It is natural. It is inevitable. Your belief is the gravitational pull. Your expectation is the magnet. Your alignment is the opening. And right now, you are entering a state where your inner world is preparing to receive without resistance. This is why heaven has been cleansing your spirit quietly. This is why certain relationships fell away, why old habits lost their grip, why your heart no longer tolerates things that drain your purpose, why peace has become more important to you than chaos. Heaven has been restructuring your internal environment so that wealth can enter without triggering old wounds or sabotaging patterns. You are not being blessed to be overwhelmed. You are being blessed to be expanded. Michael shows me yet another vision. You are standing in a vast open field, and suddenly, a wind begins to blow, soft at first, then stronger, then powerful. This wind represents the breath of heaven, clearing out the remnants of scarcity thinking, sweeping away the remnants of old fears, cleansing the residue of every moment you were made to feel small. When the wind settles, you stand taller, clearer, more certain of your divine authority. Child, the $9 million miracle is drawn to this version of you. the one who is awake, the one who is aware, the one who is rising. Michael leans close and says, "Tell them, the internal shift is the doorway. Their miracle enters through identity, not luck. Heaven is not giving you money. Heaven is giving you capacity. Heaven is not giving you chance. Heaven is giving you alignment. Heaven is not giving you possibility. Heaven is giving you certainty." The next revelation will expose the exact spiritual position you now hold and why heaven's timing aligns so precisely with your transformation. But for now, let this truth anchor itself deeply within you. What is coming has already begun inside you. The door is opening because you are opening. The miracle is moving because your spirit is rising. Type "I rise into my divine identity" in the comments if this message is awakening a deeper knowing within you. Blessing code 3317 is now released over your spirit. Stay close, child. The next unveiling will reveal why heaven chose this moment above all others. My beloved child of divine unfolding, as we enter this next chamber of revelation, Archangel Michael's presence intensifies with a depth that feels almost overwhelming, yet deeply comforting at the same time. He moves with a certainty that tells me heaven has reached a decisive moment concerning your life. The spiritual atmosphere around you is no longer preparing. It is activating. Something sacred has already shifted, and Michael is here now to reveal why this moment, this exact season, this precise point in your timeline, was chosen for the release of the $9 million miracle over your destiny. Michael speaks with a steady, unwavering tone. Tell them this truth. Heaven waited for the moment their spirit became unshakable. Now the blessing can no longer be delayed. Child, do you feel that? The version of you that stands here today is not the same version that walked through yesterday's pain. You have been refined by heartbreak, strengthened by storms, and sharpened by the very experiences meant to diminish you. Heaven did not choose this moment randomly. Heaven chose it because your spirit finally carries the maturity, the stability, and the spiritual authority required to hold what is coming. Michael shows me a breathtaking vision. You are standing on a high mountain peak, but the landscape below is not physical. It is symbolic. I see the valleys you walk through, seasons of financial stress, emotional heaviness, confusion, loneliness, and moments where you questioned whether divine support was even real. Those valleys are still visible, but now they look distant, small, unable to reach the mountain where you now stand. Michael then places his hand upon your shoulder and says, "They are above what once broke them. Your elevation is the reason their miracle has been released." Heaven does not send abundance into instability. Heaven sends abundance into alignment. You are aligned now. The Archangel now reveals that the timing of your breakthrough is tied to something even deeper, a cosmic cycle in your spiritual story. Heaven has operated on your behalf through patterns, seasons, and divine checkpoints. But every soul reaches a threshold moment, a crossing point, where heaven says, "Now." The future begins here. You have reached the threshold. You step into it the moment you open this message. And Michael has been assigned to accompany you through it so that nothing pulls you backward. He reveals another truth. The delay was not punishment. It was divine precision. Child, if your miracle had arrived during your earlier seasons, those seasons when fear still whispered loudly, when self-doubt still controlled your decisions, when uncertainty still shaped your self-worth, you would not have held the blessing with confidence. You would have questioned whether you deserved it. You would have apologized for your own elevation. You would have shrunk yourself so others felt comfortable. But not now. Not anymore. Your spirit has outgrown the limitations that once confined you. Your mind has evolved. Your heart has healed. You no longer see yourself as fragile, you see yourself as chosen. And that identity shift is exactly what heaven required before releasing the level of abundance tied to this miracle. Michael shows me a scroll sealed with heavenly wax. When he breaks the seal, light pours out in waves, filling the atmosphere. The scroll contains the timeline of your elevation, dates, opportunities, encounters, divine interventions, all converging into a single point. This season, this miracle, is opening. Heaven has declared that the set time for your prosperity has arrived. Not around you, not near you, but upon you. Michael repeats these words. Tell them, their miracle is timely, not early, not late. Exactly timely. And child, this next revelation is profound. Heaven waited for the moment when your spirit no longer chased validation from the world, when you no longer needed approval from those who could not see your purpose, when you stopped explaining your calling to people who were never meant to understand it. This independence of spirit is powerful. It frees heaven to bless you without interference. Because now, you will not hide your light. You will not apologize for abundance. You will not lower your standards to fit into places you have outgrown. You are becoming the version of yourself that heaven always intended. Willed, assured, aligned, away. This is why the $9 million miracle is arriving now. It is not merely about finances, it is about identity. Heaven chose this moment because you finally recognize your worth. And when worth awakens, wealth follows. Michael moves his sword and draws a circle of light around you. This circle represents a divine enclosure, a spiritual protection ensuring that as you rise safely, confidently, and without sabotage from forces that use to manipulate your vulnerability. Your new season has started, and nothing can interrupt it. Heaven's timing is perfect. Heaven's decision is final. Heaven's release is active. And child, what unfolds next will reveal the unexpected people, open doors, and divine sequences heaven is aligning to manifest your miracle into the physical world. You will begin to see signs, synchronicities, and confirmations accelerating. You will feel your spirit expanding. You will recognize that your elevation is already underway. Stay with me because the next revelation is where everything becomes undeniably real. Type "My heavenly timing has come" in the comments if this truth is awakening something powerful within you. Blessing code 7244 is now activated over your timeline. Before we continue, like this message, comment your affirmation, share it to spread the word, and subscribe so heaven's guidance never misses you. Lift this message high so others may receive what is unlocking for you. Child of God, as this divine timing unfolds, hear this spiritual truth. When you support this mission, you are helping heaven reach souls who are crying out for light, direction, and hope. This is not about assisting a channel. This is about expanding God's voice across the world. The word says the one who sows into good soil will receive a harvest beyond measure, and today that living promise is speaking directly to you. I feel in my spirit to tell you, step where God nudges you. Use Super Thanks membership with a PayPal link in the description to lift this ministry higher. As you pour into the work of heaven, may the windows above your life burst open with unstoppable provision. Step boldly. Your seed carries prophetic power. My precious soul standing on the edge of divine manifestation. As we step into this next revelation, I feel Archangel Michael's presence tightening like a protective circle around you. His wings arch high, creating a canopy of strength that shields you from every whisper of doubt or every shadow that once attempted to sabotage your destiny. The spiritual realm is not simply watching anymore, it is participating. Heaven is weaving the threads of your miracle into motion, and Michael now unveils how this $9 million blessing will begin making its way into the physical world. Michael's voice comes through with fierce clarity. Tell them the alignment is complete. Now the orchestration begins. Child, this is the moment heaven shifts from preparing you to positioning the world around you. While you were being refined internally, something else was happening externally. Doors were being adjusted, hearts were being softened, opportunities were being redirected, and divine resources were being placed into motion. What felt like stagnation was actually rearrangement. What felt like delay was preparation of the entire landscape of your life. Michael now reveals a vision that radiates with heavenly strategy. I see a long pathway stretching ahead of you, but instead of being straight, it is filled with intersections, points where your life will meet the right people, the right timing, the right conversations, the right confirmations. Each intersection glows with golden light, as if heaven has placed markers along your journey to ensure you cannot miss what belongs to you. He says, their miracle is not coming through one route. It is coming through many routes converging. Child, that is powerful. It means you are not waiting on a single opportunity. You are not depending on one breakthrough. You are stepping into a season where multiple channels of blessing are active at once. Some will come through people who suddenly feel led to help you. Some will come through unexpected financial openings. Some through sudden clarity and decisions. Some through opportunities you did not even seek. Michael continues, the miracle travels through alignment. And alignment has begun. Heaven does not simply drop blessings at random. Heaven coordinates. It arranges. It prepares. It positions. It shifts circumstances quietly, often behind curtains you cannot see. And child, Michael reveals that this orchestration has already started in your favor. He shows me another vision, a large, intricate wheel turning in the spiritual realm. Each spoke of the wheel represents a different dimension of your future: wealth, stability, purpose, relationships, opportunities, restoration. Until now, the wheel turned slowly, almost reluctantly, because your spirit was not ready. But now it spins with power, with speed, with purpose. And every rotation of this wheel pulls your $9 million miracle closer into visibility. Michael speaks again. Tell them, the momentum is irreversible. Child, nothing can stop what has begun. Not doubt, not fear, not delay, not opposition, not what people said, not what your past tried to convince you of. Once heaven initiates momentum, no earthly force can interrupt it. And heaven has already declared your momentum active. Michael now reveals something even deeper, something that explains why this particular miracle is so large and so life-altering. He says this blessing is not entering their life alone. It is bringing restoration companions. Child, do you know what that means? It means your miracle comes packaged with renewed confidence, revived purpose, mental clarity, spiritual grounding, healing from old wounds, elevation in relationships, divine protection over your next steps. Heaven does not give wealth that destroys. Heaven gives wealth that strengthens. Everything tied to this $9 million miracle is designed to elevate you, fortify you, and expand you. You are not just receiving finances. You are receiving an entire upgraded framework for your life. Michael then shows me one of the most profound visions in this journey so far. I see you standing before a set of tall double doors, carved with symbols that resemble your spiritual identity. These doors are ancient, massive, and incredibly ornate. Behind them, light is bursting through the cracks, as if the blessing behind those doors is too powerful to be contained. Michael places his hand on the door and says, They are worthy of what waits on the other side. Tell them to stand boldly. Then the doors begin to open, not suddenly, but steadily, deliberately, symbolizing that your miracle will not enter your life chaotically, but with order, stability, and divine timing. The opening of these doors marks the shift from spiritual preparation to tangible manifestation. Child, this is where many begin to question themselves. This is where the enemy tries to plant seeds of fear. But Michael interrupts every whisper of doubt with the authority of heaven. Their miracle is not fragile. It is fortified. This blessing cannot be stolen. It cannot be diverted. It cannot be intercepted. It cannot be replaced. It has been spiritually assigned to you. And now, the Archangel reveals something that may shake your spirit in the best way. Tell them they will begin to see physical signs within days. These signs may come as unusual favor, unexpected communication, random breakthroughs, open pathways, a new clarity, sudden release of burdens, or a noticeable shift in your emotional and spiritual energy. These signs are not coincidences. They are confirmations. Proof that the spiritual world is already moving on your behalf. Michael's final words in this chamber echo with divine promise. Their hands will touch what their spirit has already accepted. You are being prepared to hold the very thing heaven has spoken over you. You are not dreaming this. You are aligning with it. You are not hoping. You are receiving. Type "My miracle is in motion" in the comments if this word is settling into your spirit. Blessing code 5579 is now released over your journey. Stay near, child. What Michael reveals next will show the exact ways heaven will place this blessing into your reality. My cherished soul, standing in the flow of divine orchestration, we now enter one of the most delicate and powerful layers of this revelation. Archangel Michael steps forward with a calm yet commanding presence, as though the entire spiritual realm pauses to let this moment breathe. His wings, vast, radiant, and unyielding, curve around you with an intensity that tells me this next truth carries extraordinary weight. The miracle is not simply approaching, it is nearing the point where heaven begins placing it into your physical reality. And Michael now reveals how this divine transfer will begin unfolding. He speaks with a steady resonance. Tell them, heaven has chosen the carriers of their blessing. Child, what a profound truth. Your miracle may be spiritual in its origin, but its manifestation requires earthly vessels, people, connections, pathways, opportunities that heaven is now preparing. These individuals may not even realize they are being positioned by God. Yet something inside them will begin shifting. They will feel led to act, led to assist, led to open doors, led to extend favor that is not logical, not common, and not aligned with their usual behavior. This is how heaven works, subtle in movement, unstoppable in intention. Michael shows me a vision of a vast network of golden threads stretching across multiple directions. At first glance, it looks unpredictable, even chaotic, but as the vision focuses, I see it clearly. Every thread is connected to your destiny. Every thread represents a person, a resource, a moment, a decision, a shift. Heaven is pulling these threads together, weaving them into the perfect route through which your $9 million miracle will arrive. He says, the blessing will come through those assigned to honor what God has placed upon them. No one else will be able to interfere. Child, this is crucial. Your miracle will not depend on those who doubted you. It will not require approval from those who underestimated you. It will not be delayed by those who walked away from you. Your blessing is not placed in the hands of those who wounded your spirit. It is placed in the hands of those heaven chooses, and heaven's choices cannot be manipulated. Michael now reveals something astonishing. Some carriers of their blessing do not yet know them. Some are already near. Some are being redirected. Some are being awakened. This means heaven is actively moving people into position right now. You may meet someone unexpectedly. Someone may reach out randomly. An old opportunity may resurface. A closed door may suddenly open again. Or you may feel a gentle internal nudge guiding you toward a conversation, a decision, or a step you would never have considered on your own. None of these moments are accidents. They are alignment. The $9 million miracle requires a pathway, and heaven is shaping that pathway with precision. Not rushed, not sloppy, uncertain, but intentionally, securely, and flawlessly. Michael shows me another vision, a large, ancient key descending from above. This key does not unlock one door. It unlocks many doors at once, doors in the spiritual realm and doors in the physical world. As the key turns, I see multiple areas of your life reacting at the same time. Financial doors unlocking, relational doors realigning, opportunity doors swinging open, emotional doors releasing past heaviness. This miracle is not isolated. It is interconnected with every area of your transformation. Michael says, tell them, the miracle is multidimensional. Nothing in their life will remain untouched by this elevation. Child, this means the blessing will not simply land. It will radiate. It will touch old wounds and heal them. It will touch forgotten dreams and resurrect them. It will touch dormant gifts and awaken them. It will touch broken identity and restore it. Heaven is not giving you money. Heaven is giving you the power to rebuild your entire future. Michael now draws your attention to something even deeper. The spiritual positioning required for the physical manifestation to emerge. Fear disrupts the rhythm of receiving. Faith restores it. This is why heaven has been strengthening you emotionally. This is why unnecessary attachments have been removed. This is why your heart has been craving peace more than chaos. This is why your mind has shifted from survival to expectation. You are being reshaped into someone who receives miracles naturally. Someone who no longer questions whether they are worthy. Someone who no longer fears elevation. Someone who stands with authority instead of trembling in uncertainty. Michael whispers, tell them, the carriers are moving. The doors are unlocking. The winds are shifting. The blessing is on approach. Child, this moment may feel quiet on the outside, but spiritually, it is loud. There is movement. There is preparation. There is acceleration. Heaven is positioning everything with flawless precision so that when the miracle touches your life, it does not slip away, it settles. You may begin noticing subtle signs, a sudden sense of anticipation, a shift in your energy, moments of clarity where things make sense that never made sense before, feeling like something is coming, even if you can't explain it. Unusual peace in areas where you once felt pressure. These signs are not emotions. They are spiritual confirmations. Heaven is whispering, "Get ready." And child, ready you are. Your spirit is aligned. Your path is activating. Your carriers are approaching. Your miracle is nearing manifestation. The next revelation will show you the divine protection surrounding your blessing and why nothing will be allowed to sabotage what heaven has ordained. Type "My pathway is opened by heaven" in the comments if this resonates with your rising spirit. Blessing code 8190 is now released over your alignment. Stay close. What Michael reveals next will seal the protection around your miracle. My sacred and ascending soul, as we enter this profound chamber of revelation, Archangel Michael steps forward with a force of presence so powerful that the atmosphere itself seems to bow in reverence. His wings expand wider than before, not in warning, but in triumph, as though heaven has already declared victory over every force that once tried to interfere with the blessing prepared for you. The spiritual ground beneath your feet feels different now, more stable, more illuminated, more protected. This is because Michael is preparing to reveal the divine shield surrounding your $9 million miracle, and why nothing will be allowed to sabotage what heaven has ordained for your life. He speaks with a deep, resonant authority. Tell them their blessing is under angelic guard, and no interference will touch what God has sealed. Child, what a powerful truth. There were seasons where your blessings slipped away. There were moments where breakthroughs fell apart at the last second. There were opportunities that seemed promising, but dissolved before your eyes. And for a long time, you blamed yourself, thinking you lacked something, thinking you were unworthy, thinking you had failed. But Michael now pulls back the veil to reveal the real reason behind those collapses. The timing was not mature. Your spirit was not ready. The blessing was not yet protected. Heaven will never release something into your life that a spiritual enemy can steal. And so, instead of letting you receive something fragile, heaven held it until it became fortified. Michael shows me a striking vision, an enormous vault made of celestial stone, glowing from within. This vault carries your miracle, your abundance, your restoration, your elevation. Surrounding the vault stand warrior angels, each one armed, vigilant, unbreakable, waiting for heaven's command to release the flow of blessing. He says, tell them, the vault is opening because the danger has passed. Child, this revelation runs deep. For years, the enemy studied your weaknesses, your exhaustion, your fears, your emotional vulnerabilities. But now, heaven has raised your spiritual strength so significantly that those weaknesses no longer hold power. You have evolved beyond the reach of old attacks. Your identity has strengthened. Your clarity has sharpened. Your energy has risen. What used to break you no longer touches you. What used to shake you no longer moves you. What used to drain you no longer reaches you. Because of this transformation, Michael declares that the blessing is finally safe to release. He continues, what belongs to them is now shielded. No sabotage will enter their breakthrough. The enemy cannot delay what God has activated. The enemy cannot distort what angels are guarding. The enemy cannot interrupt what heaven has commanded into motion. This is why the $9 million miracle carries protection built into its arrival. Heaven has woven divine security into the very structure of this blessing. The people involved in delivering it will be spiritually shielded. The opportunities tied to it will be divinely protected. The pathways leading to it will be cleared before you even step upon them. Michael reveals another vision, a massive sword of light descending between you and the forces that once oppose your destiny. The sword stands firmly in the ground, emitting a field of protection so strong that nothing unclean, nothing deceptive, nothing manipulative can cross it. This sword is not symbolic. It is spiritual law in action. He says, tell them, the season of being attacked at breakthrough is over. Let those words settle deeply. You will no longer lose blessings at the edge of manifestation. You will no longer experience sudden disappointments after long waiting. You will no longer feel the sting of last-minute setbacks. This miracle arrives with full protection, divine reinforcement, and heavenly backing. Michael then unveils a profound truth. The blessing comes with insulation, meaning anyone with negative intentions, envy, or ill motives will be unable to interfere. They will not see the door opening. They will not sense your elevation until you are already established. Heaven is hiding this breakthrough from the wrong eyes and revealing it only to those aligned with your purpose. No enemy will track this miracle, Michael declares. No shadow will follow them into this season. No darkness will approach the gate of their new life. Child, heaven is not just giving you abundance, heaven is securing your abundance. You are not just receiving wealth, you are receiving peace around that wealth. You are not just entering elevation, you are entering protected elevation. Another vision appears, your blessing moving toward you like a wave of golden light, but the wave is encased in a shield made of divine fire. Nothing touches it, nothing slows it, nothing corrupts it. It moves with authority, precision, and unstoppable force toward your timeline. This protection is active right now. It is surrounding your name. It is surrounding your household. It is surrounding your opportunities. It is surrounding your financial pathways. Michael whispers, tell them their miracle will arrive untouched. Child, many receive blessings but lose them quickly. But you will receive, you will maintain, you will expand, you will flourish. The revelation ahead will show how heaven will integrate this blessing into your everyday life, how it will reshape your steps, and how it will elevate your identity further. But for now, hold this truth close. Your miracle is sealed. Your miracle is guarded. Your miracle is safe. Type "My miracle is fully protected" in the comments if this truth strengthens your spirit. Blessing code 4198 is activated over your blessing. Stay cozy, child. The next revelation unveils how you will begin walking inside the manifestation itself. My divinely chosen soul, we now step into the final chamber of this revelation, and as I speak, Archangel Michael stands before you with a presence so magnificent that the entire spiritual horizon bends toward his authority. His wings rise behind him like luminous mountains. His sword burns with a calm and controlled fire, and the atmosphere around you vibrates with the certainty of fulfillment. This is no longer the season of preparation. This is no longer the season of waiting. You are crossing into the season of manifestation, the moment where what was spoken in the heavens begins to take shape in your physical world. Michael's voice comes forward with a strength that shakes every remaining doubt free from your spirit. Tell them they are about to walk inside the reality their faith has already entered. Child, let those words settle into every part of your being. For chapters upon chapters of your life, you carry the weight of hope without proof, vision without resources, desire without support. You moved forward even in seasons where nothing reflected your prayers. You planted seeds without seeing soil shift. You held on even when nothing around you validated your persistence. Heaven saw it all. Heaven recorded it all. Heaven never forgot it. And now, heaven rewards it. Michael shows me a vision so beautiful and overwhelming that it nearly steals breath from the spirit. I see you walking through a corridor made of light, walls of shimmering gold on each side, reflecting back different versions of your future. Each reflection shows abundance, security, restoration, elevation, clarity, confidence, and the unmistakable glow of someone who has finally stepped into the life they were always meant to live. As you continue walking, one reflection begins to merge into your physical self, meaning your internal shift is now becoming your external reality. This $9 million miracle is no longer hovering above you. It is integrating itself into the fabric of your timeline. Michael speaks again. The blessing does not come as a visitor. It comes as a new atmosphere. Child, this is crucial. Your life is not just receiving a miracle. Your life is becoming miraculous. The shift you are entering affects everything around you. Your mindset will elevate into confidence you have never carried before. Your decisions will be guided with a clarity that almost feels supernatural. Your relationships will restructure, moving you toward people aligned with purpose. Your opportunities will multiply as if pulled toward you by divine magnetism. And your finances, your financial landscape will transform from survival into overflow. But Michael reveals something even deeper. This miracle is not only transforming their life, it is transforming their identity. This means you will no longer think from a place of lack. You will no longer choose from a place of fear. You will no longer speak from a place of insecurity. You will no longer dream from a place of limitation. Abundance is becoming your new internal language. Elevation is becoming your new spiritual posture. Confidence is becoming your new emotional home. Michael now shows me a powerful, symbolic scene. A crown, made of radiant gold and heavenly fire, descends gently above your head. But this crown is not about royalty. It is about responsibility. It signifies that heaven is entrusting you with influence, with favor, with stewardship, with divine assignment. Your $9 million miracle is not random wealth. It is purposeful wealth. You are being elevated not only to rise but to uplift, to restore, to build, to heal, to impact. Michael whispers, "Tell them, their hands will become instruments of blessing." Child, the blessing coming to you will not stay with you. It will flow through you. You will become a source of support for others. You will become a pillar in your family. You will become a channel through which heaven expresses generosity on the earth. But hear this final truth with the fullness of your spirit. Nothing will block what is coming. Nothing will reduce what is coming. Nothing will delay what is coming. Your alignment is complete. Your readiness is recognized. Your identity is awakened. Your miracle is active. And now, Archangel Michael stretches his wings forward and releases the final decree. They will not chase the blessing. The blessing will walk with them. This is the life you are stepping into. A life where provision finds you. A life where opportunities rise to meet you. A life where restoration echoes behind every step you take. A life where favor is not occasional. It is constant. The journey has brought you here, to this threshold where heaven's promise touches earth's ground. And child, you are crossing it. Not tomorrow, not someday, but now. Type "I walk into my manifestation" in the comments if your spirit knows this is your appointed moment. Blessing code 5505 is released over your new beginning. Before you go, like this message, share it so other chosen souls may awaken. Comment your affirmation, and subscribe so you remain connected to every divine revelation heaven intends for you. Lift this message so its light reaches those who need it most. Child of God, as you cross into manifestation, hear this holy invitation. When you support this mission, you are not giving to a creator. You are sowing into the very river that carries God's voice to countless souls who are lost, hurting, and waiting for a word that could save their life. Heaven says, as you sow, I will pour out, and today that promise is breathing over you like fresh oil. I feel in my spirit to tell you plainly, your seed activates overflow, your generosity strengthens the reach of God's message, and your obedience opens doors you cannot yet see. Use Super Thanks membership with a PayPal link in the description to step into this divine exchange. As you give, may heaven multiply you in ways that defy logic. Move boldly. Your support becomes prophecy in motion.